What's up, you guys? I'm Dan. This is Frugal Not Cheap. Today we're going to check out a 2025 Tesla Model 3. Hey guys, so I'm joining you from McKinney, Texas, and yeah, I'm just out here on vacation visiting friends. Here's the vehicle in question. So I think it is a pretty car. I think definitely the refresh has been good for the Model 3. The old headlights that we used to have, they're kind of more bulbous and a little bit more, I don't know, I would say they're just less aggressive. So also just kind of the front fascia in general, the fascia, the old Model 3 was a lot more, I think, a little more bubbly and gentle. And then this one's just a little bit sleeker and more aggressive, and I like it. So yeah, the body panels look really good. And from the side here, I would say that I'm not a huge fan, as you know, of the blacked out rims and wheel wells, because it's just, I don't know, now it's just like a mass of wheel for the most part. And then I do prefer the chrome trim. I kind of miss that. But this is the way the Teslas, move to do everything, is all the blacked out stuff. So I guess it's fine. Yeah, so all the lines here from the side, really, this refresh Model 3, I think it looks quite similar to the older Model 3s. I don't know if there's been any change to it, really. And then, of course, back here, you've got a good little like splitter thing there at the bottom. And another big change, of course, is now having a Tesla written out in letters instead of having a logo. But it looks good, and then the tail lights look good. Yeah, it's all pretty sweet. I guess you got a tow hitch thing over there. Yeah, so that's the exterior. I think it looks good. You got a kind of two-part thing here with the roof. I guess we'll look at that when we get inside a little bit more anyway. But yeah, I think it's a good-looking car. I would say it's better looking than the Model Y, of course. Although the refresh Model Y with the kind of light bar that goes all across is pretty cool. Maybe they'll do the Model 3 in that way in the future at some point. But I would say still the Model S is the best looking car. And then this would be the second best looking car in Tesla's lineup for now. Okay, let's jump inside and take a look at the interior. So with the Model 3, as you remember, easy way to use the door is just kind of push this part under the thumb and you just pull over here with the rest of your hand. Very easy. So here we are. We got a nice door sill that does say Model 3. For some reason, it looks like this is wood. I think it's just reflecting off of the yeah, there, because it's not actually wood. And then the door sill is metallic though. So wait, is it? No, this is plastic. So that's okay. I think it can be removed. Maybe, I don't know. There's some kind of deal going on here. Not sure what that's about. But anyway, it's still nice to have the name there. And I will say that the materials here are much better and more buttoned down than the earlier Model 3. I have an old review of a Model 3 that you can check out on the channel. But so yeah, so I think generally all this stuff is a much better fitment. Like, it's nice and tight. There's not a whole lot of jiggle. Not the way that I had with my Model S. So you got, of course, your four windows there. You got a very, very visible and prominent door open thing. And then I think there is probably somewhere there should be like a manual release as well. I'm not exactly sure where that is. But if I can find out, I'll put something up on screen if I remember to. The other thing you'll immediately notice, of course, is the accent lighting. So the ambient lighting in the vehicle is new, and it's pretty cool how it kind of wraps around all the way like that. The other thing I'll note while we're here, well, I guess, is insulation is really good, but we'll talk about that more in the driving impressions probably. Anyway, you got this nice speaker here, and it's pretty cool how they kind of put that speaker grill with this nice soft mesh kind of thing as an element of kind of the design. And then this is soft touch up here. This, of course, is even softer touch. So this is a little bit harder than this stuff. This stuff is nice and soft where your arm is going to rest. And then you got this nice fabric material here, real smooth, real soft. And then you've got felt in here so that if you've got stuff you're storing, it's not going to jiggle around and make a lot of noise. So that's really good. It is pretty good stuff. And then you got a nice space here for like a water bottle or something, which is good. We got a second speaker in the door right here, larger one. So that's great. Footwell, nothing really interesting going on down there. The pedals are kind of, whatever, they're boring. Seats, though, of course, Tesla in-house made seats, and they are excellent. With a lot of adjustability. As you can see here, you got your lumbar, raising, lowering, tilting, both the leg portion and then the seat portion as well. So yeah, these are excellent seats, very, very comfortable for a long drive. And I'd say, very minimalistic interior, but very pretty. You got this nice fabric deal over here on top of the air vents with those kind of invisible air vents. You can still, of course, control the flow of air. Make it go up, down, left, right. You can split it into two parts. All that we'll see in the software later. And then while we're at it, this ambient lighting does have some nice metal trim here and here, and it goes all the way around the cabin, all the way to the back, as you can see there. That's, I think, a really cool element, and I just like having that clean dash over there as well. So let me jump in the car here, get rid of the wind sound. Okay, so here we are now inside the vehicle. So we can see here now on the inside the steering wheel from the Model 3. There's my hand for scale. So it's a relatively small steering wheel, which is kind of fun. It's not some big bulky thing, but we do have a little bit of metal piping here. This is metallic as well, and it's got this kind of mesh thing. It's a cool looking design. I think that's just, it's like bumpy, but these aren't actually holes, so you're not going to get stuff that's going to get all stuck in there. And then, of course, everything's vegan leather, so Tesla no longer uses leather, but it's a good material. It's very easy to clean. So that's the case for the seats here, also the steering wheel. For a long time, the steering wheels were made out of actual leather, just, for longevity's sake. And you got those same premium plastics here, nice soft touch stuff. The same one that goes all around over there on the windshield and the top of the doors, the door cards. And then, this one's a little bit softer. And this one's even softer here. This is more like the pleather material here with the stitching, which looks really nice, I think. So what else can we say for the interior? You've got two wireless charging ports right here, so two phones. It is kind of a pain because I got to take my phone out of all the cases in order to get some charging because of the camera bump. You'd really got to get it like touching on there in order to get a charge. But that's still pretty convenient, and I haven't had my phone fly out and go anywhere on me yet. So that's good. Of course, you got this beautiful center screen, as we know. And then we've got the updated center console here. So this stuff's kind of cool. It's got this same, again, these aren't holes, but they're kind of like little dots, I guess. In the there's a texture to it, which is nice, but it's still nice and smooth. And then it just splits into two pieces. So this part opens up here, and then you've got quite a bit of storage. You've got your sort of cigarette lighter type 12-volt power outlet down there. And then this part over here, you pull that back, and that's going to reveal your cup holders, which do have these little knobs, which are going to hold things, but also allow for some flex in the size of the cup that you're going to be putting in there. So I think that's quite good. And then to close these guys, all you're going to do is just push back on them again, and they're going to soft close. So pretty cool. And you can do like the split. You can do whatever you want. You can have the cup holders out like this. Whatever you want. So I'm just going to keep it clean. Passenger side, same deal, really nothing to mention out there. There's the glove box, so let's go into the software here. So you just hit this button for all the vehicle controls. So boom, there we go. And then there should be, right here is the button for the glove box. So boom, and here is your glove box. So it's relatively small, but it is lined with felt, and as you saw, it did have like a dampened closing effect. So that was nice to see. Looks like here's sort of the magnetic closure for it or something like that. Yeah, there's the other side of that. So there you have it. You cannot close the glove box with the button. It's not going to do anything. It's just releasing that magnet. So we got to do that on our own. But it is nice that it's lit. As you can see, there's a little lighting there in the glove box. Let's continue on looking at the center console. So we also, of course, have the center armrest. So we can pull that up, and it reveals that there is additional storage down here. There's a USB-C port there, and it's pretty big. You got a lot more storage down in there. So yeah, quite a bit of storage here in the center console of the Model 3, I would say, which is pretty sweet. Continuing on with the materials, you've got this nice soft touch fabric up here. It's not a suede like we had on the Model S, but it's a soft touch fabric, and it looks quite nice. And we have that all the way around. Pulling down the visors here, I guess. You have this little tab here to half open the mirror, and then of course you could pull it open too, and then the lights come on as well. So yeah, it's kind of like two-stage sort of deal, which is kind of nice. And then these are decent size. You can see here, there's my hand. So yeah, a little more than a hand's width and a half maybe. We got our hazard lights up here, and then we got map lights here. It's just a nice little haptic touch to activate these guys. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to push; it's just haptic. And then the passenger side also has one of these, and they also have a lit in case they want to do their makeup or check their appearance or what have you. So I think that's a nice touch as well. Okay, let's jump in the back and check that out. So again, getting out, we just push this button. Okay, opening up the back here, we can see that all the materials carry over. So we got that pleather down here, we got the nice fabric, the lining continues over here, and then I think you can get the emergency release through there. And then we have that soft touch plastic up here as well. And then of course the ambient lighting continuing throughout. Okay, looking at the back seat, how are we? Your classic Tesla materials. These are the same materials from the front seats. So that very comfortable pleather, very easy to clean as well. And then of course you have your latch points for child seats and all that stuff back here as well. One nice addition that we didn't see in the previous Model 3 is this rear screen. So here's that screen up. It just turned off on us. Let me open the door again. Yeah, there we go. So you got two USB-C ports down there. You got your air vents here. And then of course you've got controllability here. So it's pretty cool. You can just tap these and move them around. That is pretty sweet. Wait, hold on. The exposure is not good for you. Let me see what I can do about that. Okay, here we go. So yeah, you can kind of move these around as you can see there. So that's moving the airflow, redirecting it, which is pretty cool. This is more software stuff, so I guess maybe we'll play with that a little bit later. And then over here, you don't have the map pockets, which I think is a miss. You've got this kind of deal, so you can hold stuff, but I don't know. You can see it's kind of open in there. See that? So I don't think that that's as good as the old map pocket storage. I don't know why they made that change. But otherwise, materials are good and lighting's good back here. You've got these a couple of dome, a couple of lights back here. And then you also have the coat hooks. So you would have seen this in my Model Y review. It's very similar updates they did here. And again, we do have some storage in the doors, which is nice to see. And then here's where the top tether is for the child safety seats, right? You got all that. And these seats do fold down. So let's take a look at that in a moment. But it's just got a nice little shelf over here. Again, this is not a hatchback. It is a sedan with a trunk. So yeah, but before we do that, let's take a quick look at the roof. So you've got 3 glass panels essentially, or I don't know, maybe it's a full one, but they're segmented at least by the body. So you've got, of course, your windscreen, and then you got the glass panel up top, but it is broken up in a way by this pillar right here, the B pillar, kind of top part of the frame, and then the glass continues. Okay, and then in the back seat we do have a couple of speakers here as well. So that's good for the sound. You don't have any more large speakers there, at least in this particular trim. And let's take a look at the trunk. So again, to open the trunk, we're going to hit the vehicle controls button. And you can do this, of course, from the app too, which is amazing. There's all kinds of different options here. Yeah, right here, right? Open trunk. There we go. Yeah, a cool little animation too, and you can knows the door's open. Very, very cool. Software's always awesome on Tesla. We'll talk about that in a minute. So here's the trunk for the Model 3, and again, because it's not a hatchback, there is the downside that this trunk opening is only so big. Yeah, it's not too bad, but it could be huge. It's basically just like my forearm. Does the entire span of it, right? So that's about how big that is. So it could be better, but we do have a little bit of storage here on both sides of the trunk, so that's nice, and it is quite deep as well. So that's good too. Now let's pull that front seat, those back seats down. So we're going to use this latch that's right here. And there we go. So we got this 60-40 split, which is pretty good. And of course, that's going to give you a whole lot more storage capability. But again, you're limited by the size of the trunk opening, which is not a problem in the Model S and not a problem on the Model Y as well. So I think that's a little bit unfortunate. I always thought that was kind of a miss here with the Model 3. It in some ways is better for sound dampening, but yeah, I always thought that was kind of a miss with the Model 3. They could have figured out a way to make this more like a fastback, I would say. All right, to close the trunk, we do have a nice little button over here. Boom. And there we go. So it is a power lift gate, which is nice. Okay, let's take a look at the software. So of course, software for the Tesla is going to be a huge selling point. So yeah, just little details, right? Like this little fasten seatbelt thing's cool. You got the controls for the vehicle right there. We can open the trunk. There's your charging as well. We should take a look at the front real quick, actually. So there's our front with the Tesla T logo, and it's a decent size. You got your windshield washer fluid there. It's about the only maintenance you got to do. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's okay. It's not that deep. It looks to be about like, I don't know, maybe 14 inches deep or so. So you can fit like a little carry-on here, but maybe, depending on the size. But it's not super large. So again, yeah, software is a really huge selling point with the Tesla. Lots and lots of cool stuff that we can do. So all those controls remain, even the smaller screen. We can open to the charging port and do all that stuff with the trunk and the front. But here's all the other stuff too. So there's probably too much to go through. So I just kind of want to show you the different screens. So here's the basic controls. You can do your headlights. You can do the child locks, locking the windows, the glove box as we saw, folding the mirrors as well. You can do your windshield wipers from here. Although you can also activate them, of course, on the steering wheel. And then, you can do your Sentry mode and all that stuff. There's a car wash mode in particular, which is useful. That's a nice one. On the dynamics, you can change the steering weight. You can change the way that acceleration works. Looks like whoever owns the vehicle put it on chill. Maybe speed limit mode's enabled, I guess, right now. And then we have auto shift, which is on, so that's over here. Basically, you slide the little car icon forward to go to drive and slide it back to go to reverse, and then tap the middle to go to park. So that's pretty intuitive, and it does an okay job of predicting what you want to do, but it's not bad. Anyway, it's not too much harder than a stalk on the wheel, or like yeah, whatever. It's not too bad to do. Okay, here's our charging screen, and looks like the battery is a little lower. Been doing quite a bit of driving, as you can see, lately. And then you got autopilot, of course. Here's the full self-driving that we're using, supervised, which is awesome. I'm going to be helping to increase this percentage of self-driving. They have this option here to require a brake press and release to start FSD from park. We got that off, I think it's you can do your speed profile, expanded visualizations, which are cool. This car does have actually smart summon, which my old vehicle didn't. I haven't tried it out. Consensus is generally that it's better than the old summon, but it's not perfect, right? So too risky, especially with a rental car. I'm not gonna mess around with it. Yeah, speed limit warning, blah blah blah, forward collision warnings, blah blah blah. So anyway, very good safety always, right? So that's really good. Obstacle aware acceleration, emergency lane departure avoidance, and then it's just a nice features, the green traffic light chime as well. But mostly, again, I'm on FSD, so the car's just doing everything. I don't even have to worry about it. Here's the different phone keys that you can have, and little options like to lock the doors when you walk away, to unlock the driver's door when you walk up to it, I think is this one, and the charge port. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, I'll keep it off. I'm not going to mess with the guy's settings too much here. Hands-free trunk is a new option that I didn't have, where you just like stand behind there, and it uses I think the ultra wideband Bluetooth in order to tell that you're just hanging out there. So that was also an option I didn't have in the Model S, so that's a nice one. Notifications, I think this would be good. I'm going to put that one on just in case. I'd like to know while I've got the car. They can always change stuff, right? So that's going to be good. Let's see. Lighting, of course, yeah, auto turn signals, which is pretty cool. They have auto cancel. You really want that because these turn signals here, yeah, not so great. I mean, they're okay. They're not haptic. I think you need to put a little pressure on them. I think it just seems to be that way. Let's try a little tap. Yeah, nothing. So, yeah. But of course, if you're in a roundabout, not the best. And we do have some roundabouts here in Texas, so that's not the best. But again, when you're doing FSD, you don't have to worry about it. Headlights after exit is nice, so you have a little bit of lighting when you exit the vehicle, especially at night, and footwell lights and all that stuff. These are the accent lights, so here we can actually change the color of that accent lighting there. I do think this blue that we have here, it's kind of a nice color. It's sort of soothing, but also kind of, I don't know, kind of clubby, kind of cool. All right. Here you have heated seats, as we can see here, driver, passenger, and two of the rear seats. You don't have a heated middle seat though, which is unfortunate. And then this will allow you to move that passenger seat forward and back if you've got to like, make room for a child seat or whatever, Yeah, so that's kind of nice. Display, automatic blind spot cameras, great. I like that feature a lot. And you can change what the scroll wheel does. That's cool. You can change languages and a lot of other little options here about the display. So that's nice. You can schedule a precondition or a charge and other stuff, location based as well. And then here is Sentry mode, which is excellent to capture the footage in case someone messes with the car. This one's done camera-based detection. I think this will use. Oh, I don't know why the car's been in low power mode. I don't know if I should take it out of that or what. Anyway, I'll take a look at that. But yeah, here's speed limit mode has been on. Let's see if we can take that off or not. Yeah, okay, we took speed limit mode off. That's fine. Automatic 911 calling is great. Security alarm, park assist charms. Joe mode, I think is good. Just get rid of those bongs, bing bongs. Yeah, you can even put a pin for your glove box in case you're doing a valet thing. And then, of course, this car has the key card, which my Model S did not have. So that's nice when you just hand the key card to the valet, and that'll take care of everything. So that's cool. Why are we in low power mode? I'm going to put that on auto. That must be because, maybe because of the Turo thing. Yeah, I don't want to mess this guy up. I'll probably forget to turn it back on later. So, we'll keep that on. Not a big deal. I don't really need Sentry and all that stuff too much on it. So yeah, that was the safety section, service. We can see our PSIs. You can check out the owner's manual. A lot of other options. Camera preview is always cool. Let's see. There we are. There I am. That's kind of fun. And then, of course, you have lots of options for all the different cameras we can look at. And you can see the resolution is actually quite high on these AI4 vehicles. So very good. And then, of course, we got the software. We already saw that. We're on FSD version 14.2.1. Oh, I guess you might not have seen that. So there is a separate video coming out that's going to show what FSD version that we are on. The advanced actually did do something a little bit recently. It didn't used to do very much. You can do HOV lanes in the nav as you want, and you can avoid highways or tolls or whatever. And yeah, you can do your trip computers, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, audio. Audio, you can adjust the tone with these 5 different ones, and then you've got also your immersive sound, and then you've got all of these different sources that you can use. So that's a ton of sources that we can look at. And then there may or may not be upgrades for the vehicle. Nope, there are no upgrades that we can do for the vehicle. So yeah, it's got all the standard Tesla stuff right here. So you got those. We got the new energy monitor. You got a heated steering wheel, by the way. That's a nice deal over here. But yeah, you've also got Zoom. You got the Grok app. So this is pretty cool to have that. So we can talk to the assistant there.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Okay. So I might work on that a little bit later. You got all your sources here. Where's Netflix and stuff like that? Oh, that's probably Inside Theater. Yeah, there we go. So there's your Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Twitch, blah blah blah. And of course, we're gonna have tons of games as well in the arcade section. And I guess just to kind of cap the software section, as you can see, everything is incredibly fluid. It's really quite intuitive. Like I haven't actually messed around with this much. I'm just showing you as I go through, and it's really quite good. I like this mode, by the way, where you can see all the cameras all the time. And you've got an air quality indicator too up there. That's new. And then your weather, 46 degrees Fahrenheit here in cloudy in McKinney, Texas. So Tesla software basically is just awesome. They're just an amazing software company. And so yeah, you're gonna have a great software experience here. Sometimes you hear people that are like, "Ooh, I want to have my CarPlay." Like, no, this thing's way better. You don't need any of that jazz, at least in my opinion. I wouldn't want any Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I would want to use the Tesla UI. Everything's integrated. Everything works really, really well, and it's fantastic. Okay, so the last thing to do is to talk about the driving impressions. And for this one, just because I'm holding the camera and I don't want to like manually drive while holding the camera. Yeah, not so cool. And I don't have a co-pilot to help me out with filming today. So I'm just going to say that it's very smooth. It's not like air cushiony or anything like that. It's not like the new Model S's with the awesome air suspension. But it is comfortable. I don't feel the bumps too much. and noise isolation is much improved in this vehicle. So the glass is much better at blocking out the outside noise. The vehicle in general, just I think they've done just a better job of insulating it, and is a much more quiet cabin than the old Model 3 was. And then it drives otherwise quite good, you know. Tesla steering is quite sharp. That's how they do it, to make it feel a little bit more sporty, even though it's a heavy vehicle. Acceleration's always going to be fun. Any Tesla you get into, you just bang on that accelerator and you're going to shoot off right away. That instant torque of the electric vehicle is going to be really, really fun. So yeah, still a great car to drive. If you want to do turns and stuff like that, the Model 3 is going to be better than the Model S. But I still prefer the Model S just for like comfortable cruising, especially now that we have full self-driving. And that's really where it's at. And it is a software thing, but it's also related to the physical world and the driving experience. Full self-driving is incredible, and this version 14.2.1 is fantastic. So do check out my video coming out. I think I'll put this one first, yeah. So you can check that out next week with FSD 14.2.1, and you'll see just how good it actually is. So look forward to that. But yeah, that's my tour of the Model 3. I think it continues to be an extremely compelling vehicle. Again, the only downside to it now, I do think the looks are much improved, is the fact that it's not a hatchback, so it's not quite as convenient as the Model S or Model Y. But if you don't need that, if you're okay with a standard trunk and you prefer a smaller vehicle, yeah, this thing's pretty awesome. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.